Hello and welcome to our home. We've been living in this rental for almost 1.5 years now. It's a 3-bedroom house which I believe was built in the 1980s, and we like to keep our home minimal, simple and calm. So let's start with what the home looks like when you first enter the front door. The first thing you notice is this beautiful wooden cathedral ceiling which has the living room, dining and kitchen beneath it. So starting with the living room and the centerpiece of the living room, which is this large modular sofa. Dark grey is such a great colour as it's minimal and quite neutral, so it goes with pretty much any other colours you want to incorporate into your home. It also gives the room some contrast with the darker colour and is of course super easy to keep clean. I chose this light cream coloured rug to brighten up the space, and it's also machine washable, which is fantastic, especially with a puppy. I'm very happy with it, although I do want to get a felt rug underlay to make it extra soft as it is quite thin. Over to the opposite wall, here is a painting I made a few years ago inspired by the Byron Bay hinterland, where we like to day trip now and again, and it's just a nice happy memory for us. The TV stand is quite small, but it fulfills its purpose, and I love the scalloped front on it. So the coffee table, the console table and the dining table are all with the same coloured laminate, and all three of these and the TV unit are actually made by my very talented fiance Keelan. The coffee table originally had a marble look top on it, which we have replaced with a larger round top. The open fireplace unfortunately isn't able to be used. I think there are new laws now with open fireplaces in rentals, but nonetheless it provides a cozy look. Moving on to the console table, we have 2 plants, a photo of Keelan and I, an essential oil diffuser, and an essential oil reed diffuser as well. Sometimes I like to have a little candle here instead, but at the moment I'm trying not to buy so many candles, so it's a reed diffuser. The kitchen table, I like to keep our placemats on to protect the table and also give it a bit of texture and interest as well. The decor piece in the center here is a repurposed gin bottle, and in it I have a couple of dried bird's nest Banksias, which are Australian native flowers which were given to me from a friend. And around the corner here we have the original 1980s kitchen. It's very retro, and I recently created this little coffee station, or drink station rather, which is a nice cozy nook in the kitchen where we can make barista style coffee, herbal teas and even smoothies. So starting with the bench top, we have a barista coffee machine here, a kettle, a little bowl that I like to keep bananas in for smoothies, a glass blender, some raw cacao powder, some pea protein powder, and a couple of jars with some herbal teas and a tea strainer. On the next shelf up, we have some vintage style mugs that I think just suit the retro kitchen quite well. Some of my favorite mugs I like to keep on these cup hooks. And here we have some instant coffee, some Rooibos tea, English breakfast tea and some raw sugar, and a couple of jars here, one with marshmallows for hot chocolates of course, and a cookie jar. And the top shelf we have a ribbed glass flower vase, glass teapot, and a vintage jug which I found on the side of the road, if you can believe it, with some more dried flowers in there. And the rest of the kitchen, we have a microwave in this corner, a toaster underneath. Unfortunately, we really are living in the 80s as we don't have a dishwasher in this kitchen, which is probably my least favorite thing about the house. And lastly, over here I have a framed print of my hometown, which is the Barrington coast of New South Wales, our kitchen knives, Wi-Fi modem, and I like to keep this cork board here to hide all of the cables as well. And now down to the hallway, and the first door on the right is the laundry. It's a bit of a storage room as well. I feel like everyone's allowed at least one room in their home that they kind of have a little bit messier than the other places, and this is ours. And now into the bathroom, and I've tried to go for a bit of a green theme in here, so the towels and the bath mats is nice olivey green colour. And on the bench top, I just like to keep what we use, hand soap and our toothbrushes. And then over to the bath here, I just have a candle, a crystal and a little pothos plant in some water. I feel like 3 items together work really well, and any more than 3 items together, I feel like it gets a little bit cluttered. And moving on to the bedroom now, this bedroom is quite small, so we really wanted to keep it super minimal. It's literally just our queen size bed, 2 bedsides, couple of lamps. I do have a little sun hat up here on the mirror just to give it a bit of interest, and didn't want to load the bed full of pillows because I really don't like putting so many pillows on in the morning. I like to keep it really easy to make the bed. So I just got 2 back decorative pillows and 1 little one. And as far as decor on the bedsides, I don't really like to keep much there at all because I'll usually have my phone, my bottle of water and the book that I'm currently reading. These lamps are quite old. I originally purchased them from Freedom, and I did used to have a blue cover on the bed, so obviously the blue lamps suited that really well, but I'm thinking of painting them white soon. I might do a little DIY home projects video soon, so definitely hit subscribe if you want to see that coming up shortly. Linen cupboard. And then the next door over is Killen's office. Not going to be showing you in there today. I just like to give him his own privacy, and I think he's actually in there at the moment doing some work. And at the end of the hallway there's a separate toilet, which is really good to have a separate toilet. Nice and handy. Not super interesting in here, just a couple of items on the windowsill. And now I feel like there needs to be a drum roll because this is probably one of my favorite rooms in the home, and it's my very luxurious office. I say luxurious because I have actually the other part of our modular sofa in my office here. There was just simply no room for it in the lounge rooms, but hey, I'm not complaining. So starting with this corner of the office, I have a beautiful little beach print here. I love wall art that depicts a scene, for example a seascape or a landscape, where there's a bit of depth in it. I feel like that just gives the room depth in terms of how you feel when you look at the artwork. And this mid-century modern coffee table is from IKEA, but I found it on Marketplace. A couple of books underneath there, some dried flowers on top with a drink coaster and a candle. And if there's anything in the video you want to know where it's from, let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. And over to the other corner of my office, in this corner we have a beautiful linen lamp. This room is actually quite dark even during the day, even with blinds open, so having a lamp was an absolute must for this room. And over here I have a macrame, don't know how to say it, but do know how to make them. One of these things that holds plants, with a pothos plant that I really want to train to crawl up the wall. If you can imagine, when the plant's a bit longer, you can get little plant clips that stick to the wall and you can train the plants up like a living wallpaper. And I have a little table here just to add some interest to the room with a clear quartz crystal, a eucalyptus spearmint candle, and a Snow Queen pothos in a muted olive green flower pot. You just can't go wrong with the combination of crystals and plants. I like to keep a minimal desk space, and this desk is from IKEA, one of their trestle desks. The chair I found on Marketplace with the beautiful rattan and white, and the sheepskin is also from IKEA. So I like to only have what I need on the desk. I've got my headphones, got another drink coaster here, my blue light glasses, my MacBook Pro, which is connected to the monitor, of course, an ergonomic mouse pad, which I think is really important if you're using the mouse a lot, especially with YouTube editing. Very important. And of course, ergonomic mouse and keyboard as well. And now to show you the outside space and how I've styled the outdoor space and how we use it in a minimal way, I guess. So the outside space is definitely a part of the home. If you have a balcony, if you have a patio, you've got to make it feel homely, don't you? So I've got a very comfy seat here and a coffee table. Found both of them on Marketplace. Marketplace is truly great if you want to save money. You can get some really good stuff on there. Highly recommend. I've recently put in these raised garden beds and learning all about organic gardening, and it is such a joy. to walk outside and see all of these beautiful flowers and some veggies growing away. I do have some videos on gardening as well if you're interested. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this minimal home tour. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite part about the tour. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a little thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you really soon in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.